Hello, welcome to the studio. I'm Silver, and today I'll be showing you guys my process for making Kup's helmet from Transformers G1. These images I'm showing you really quickly were the steps it took for me to come up with the base for this helmet. The patterning process, making sure it fit my head, whether I made it out of paper, cardboard, and now here I am prepping the foam to be painted. The entire process of making this piece was done in about 3 days, starting with the paper pattern, then the cardboard pattern, then the cutting, gluing, sanding, prepping, and painting of the foam. After prepping all of my pieces, I took some white cosplay paint and painted all of the pieces white as a base coat. You'll notice when I get to painting the base of the helmet itself white that I don't do it incredibly evenly, and that's because it doesn't have to be. I believe that the uneven base coat gave it a bit more of a weathered, older feel, which fits perfectly with who Kup is as a character. And I believe it also made it look a bit more metallic with the paints I used to give it the color itself. I tried to make sure that the grooves stayed indented as opposed to getting painted over and losing the texture that I cut into them. Here I am applying the base coat of white to the base itself, the foam base for the helmet. And you'll notice that I glued on the raised circles already, the earpieces, technically, audioles. And that's because they get painted the same color as the base of the helmet itself, and I didn't want to lose any of the texture, didn't want to not be able to glue them down in case it tried to peel the paint instead of adhering. To glue all of my pieces together, I actually decided to use super glue instead of trying to get contact cement to work for me. And that's why there was the zigzag on the base of the helmet itself. I felt that giving it a zigzag gave it more surface area for the glue to adhere and for the pieces to stick to one another. I only went for one base coat of the white because, again, I liked the texture that I felt it would give the final coat of paint. If you decide to do this for yourself, you can do a solid coat of white instead of leaving it streaky and sparse like mine was. Everything is up to you, of course. This is just what I felt would be best for my iteration of this project. I used a paintbrush that was already a bit damaged because I knew that getting beaten up a little bit wouldn't hurt as much as it would a new paintbrush. So yeah. You notice the white inside the helmet, that is actually felt. So these two teals that I'm mixing together, I got at Michael's. The darker teal is metallic, and that's all that I used to get that darker metallic look. And you'll notice at the end that it's darker than this. This is more of a base coat of teal. For the second coat, I used a bit more of the dark teal in the mix. And you might notice a little bit up in that top left where my thumb is that it's more beaten up than it was when I first painted everything white. That's because I sanded it, because I forgot that I had to glue the chevron on, which we haven't gotten to yet, but I prepped the surface for that so that the foam would glue to the base. You might also notice that the back is cut into some. I looked over some of my figures that I have and realized that it was not solid all the way back. It does have that divot like it does in the front, so I fixed that and prepped the top and the inside there you might see. So yeah. The felt that I glued to the inside is for my personal comfort for the back and the front, and I also needed to size the helmet a little bit to my head, so putting a small layer of felt in there fixes that up a little bit, makes it sit more comfortably on my head, so that I don't feel that there's a risk of the helmet falling down and obscuring my vision or anything, or getting in the way of my head tilting. Or turning. Tilting or turning. So yeah, I show you all the entire process of me painting it this shade of the teal, and then I come in later with a second darker coat, as well as on that back inner edge. I paint all of that darker teal as well, because I don't know for sure if it will show or not once I've got my, I'm using a bald cap for the inner piece instead of trying to make a headpiece, so I don't know how much of the paint inside will show when I finally get around to actually doing that. You'll notice here that the earpieces are the exact same shade of teal as the rest of the base. I like that so far. I might come in and texture it a little differently later when I'm gluing painting the chest piece and the back and whatnot. If I decide that I need to shade those earpieces differently, or the chevron once I've got that glued on, I might do that. I don't know for sure yet. I have until August to decide for sure how I want this project done for a con that I'm going to. But still have several months to prep for all that. So here I'm painting the outside of the chevron, or rather the same shade of teal as the base. I still haven't changed to the dark one yet during this part of the process. So the exterior is this same dark shade of teal, and I don't know if I showed on the video, but here it is. Just that edge of the back part of the chevron gets painted that same shade of teal. The front part I will be painting here in just a minute, but the back needs to be the same color as the base. So here is that inside part of the chevron. I painted it a lighter gray, and there's the super glue. And there's the base and the chevron. I didn't want to try showing you guys me actually gluing everything, because I wanted to be able to handle my phone and still have the gloves intact and not glued to it. So here is the final look at what the helmet is. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Bye-bye!